Good morning, y'all. Welcome to another video on the LuderCo Arms channel. So this video will be a little different than most of them because I'm not really showing you how to do anything. Basically, it's been 3 weeks and 1 day since Hurricane Helene ripped through here, and I didn't make a lot of videos of us cleaning trees or anything, but I'll show you around what was damaged and the cleanup, and then I'll insert some pictures of what it looked like right after the hurricane when everything was tore up still. We are located in Edgefield County, South Carolina, which is right across the river from Augusta, Georgia. We got it pretty bad. I mean, nowhere near as bad as those folks in North Carolina, but we were out of power for 5 days. Some people longer than that. It's been 3 weeks and a day. We still don't have internet, so I'm not really sure when this will get on the internet. The first Saturday after I get internet back. So I'm hoping, I got a Starlink I'm going to try to set up in a couple of days here, and hopefully we'll get some internet back. All the fiber optics are all tore to hell, so, and there's no telling when we'll get that back. So you can see, hopefully it shows how bent my flagpole is. Might have to get a new one, but we had winds in excess of 100 miles an hour here, so we got beat up pretty good. This soffit along the front of the house was all ripped off. I managed to find all the pieces. They were all bent and twisted pretty good. I got them straightened back out as well as I could and nailed back up there. Once you get up close to them, you can see they're a little wavy from where they were bent, but there's no way I could get a new one and have it match the color of this 25-year-old siding. So that's back up there and repaired. And go over here. There was a real pretty tree here. It laid over and pulled that root ball up. I cut it all up and kind of pushed the root ball back. I'll have to cut all that out and eventually burn it. There used to be, right here on the corner of the house, there used to be a Bradford pear tree. It went down. And then you can see all these stacks of wood that I cut up. You can see out in our woods here, there's all kinds of trees down out there. Of course, I'm not that worried about that out there. You can see all these brown, that's all branches and stuff I've thrown out there. So this was a massive oak tree, and I'll put in some pictures here to show you what it looked like before the storm. Luckily, I went to work that morning because that's where I park, and you can see where the tree is. It would have crushed my truck. The day of the storm, you could stand about right here. I'll put a picture in, and you could not see the shop up there at the top of the driveway. You could not see that feed shed or the little goat house. All of that had there were trees covering everything. You couldn't even walk up this driveway. Cut all that up. You can see in the goat pen here, there's about 4 big oak trees that went down. It's all pretty tore up in there, but the goats are okay. And really the only damage we got, there were trees laying on top of this little goat house, but that little bend right there is really the only damage we got. And there were also oak trees laying all on the top of this feed shed right here. I'll put in another picture or two kind of throughout this to show you what it looked like the morning after the hurricane moved out. It was bad. All this was covered in trees. You couldn't see any of that. And then over here, there's this big tall pine tree. That's the root ball right there. You know that video, you see them all the time on Facebook talking about time to do some sketchy shit? This is some of that shit. So there's the root ball, and I have cut section by section up this thing. Came close to it snatching the saw out of my hand once. And I'm fixing to cut me one more section out of this thing, and we should be good. It's taking a whole lot of pressure off of this other pine that's holding it up. And if we can get it to kind of lay down where it's not won't be putting near as much pressure on this, then I may, once I get this last section cut out, I may stretch the winch out on the Cherokee and try to pull this thing back a little bit so we can save our power box for the shop and the shop from getting crushed. So that's how my day is going. I sectioned it up. Under there is there was another goat pen there. You can see the fence is crushed underneath there, but that big pine laid down. I'll put a couple of pictures in right here to show you what it looked like, but it was laid down up into that crook in that other pine tree and was hanging over the top of this power meter and power box, which are for the shop and all the sheds. There's the shop. You can see there's all kind of trees down back in there, leaning still. Probably gonna have to take that tree out. There's one right there that's leaning pretty darn good. We'll get to it. If it falls right now, it's not going to hurt any of my stuff, so we'll get to it. There's all kind of leaning and knocked down trees around here, though. It's pretty bad. So this big pine tree that was in the top here, I sectioned it up to here. You can see where it's crushed my goat pen fence on both sides, there and there. Section that out, and then I basically climbed up the trunk of it up there, cut a bunch out of the top of it where it was leaning past where it was wedged on these trees here, up in there, and then climbed up there, and I hooked the winch cable in the top of it and drug it back and got it to lay down there. So you can see there is so many vines in here. I'm pretty sure all this is going to just sit here and rot, because it'll take me forever to get all that cleaned out of there just to where I could put the fences back up. I mean, it is simply demolished. Ain't a whole lot I can do with that. Ain't a whole lot I can do with that at all. You can see there's another goat house back there that now that pine tree is laying on, but since the pen's destroyed and I can't get through this wall of downed trees and vines to that goat shed anyways, I'm guessing it's just gonna stay where it's at for the time being. Not a whole lot I can do with that. Gate still works though. So yeah, that's a mess. I think this will just be a nature section of the yard from now on, because I've been running a chainsaw pretty much every spare minute for the last 3 weeks, and I am tired of it. Don't care to do it anymore. And then the last big tree we had fall was this one down here close to the back of the house, which you can see the big root ball hanging there, which we're gonna have to start digging out of the dirt and cutting up as we get time to do it. That one laid down into that tree line. Well, it is the end of day 2 after the hurricane. Started cutting this tree up to get some more done on it tomorrow. Mainly right now I just want to get it drug out of that tree line so it's not in the neighbor's yard. He's got a chain link fence behind that tree line. And we've got, we go over here. There's still this tree down. It's not really hurting anything right this minute, so we're not going to worry about it too much. Got that big tree down there, but again, it's not really hurting anything, so we're not going to worry about it too much. We got this massive oak down, and we have made some pretty good progress running the chainsaw though. So now you can see this is the driveway up to my shop, and now I can actually get up it again. So all of this that you see here are tree branches that I have cut and drug off into the woods. Started cutting up some of the big stuff and getting it out of the road, so this we'll come back to this another day now that the road is cleared. Then we got up here in the goat pen. So the goat pen and the feed shed both had trees laying down on them. You can see the one there still, it's kind of on the fence, but it's still in the root ball, so it's not putting a lot of pressure on it right this minute. All of this, there were 4 large oak trees in here that Two of them were laying on the top of this goat house, and two of them were laying on the top of that feed shed. And luckily, except for a couple little bent sections on the tin on that goat house, it didn't hurt the roof. It didn't hurt the roof on the feed shed at all. They all of these trees in here, they all laid over, pulled the root ball up so they didn't hit super hard, and got lucky there. But we still got this monstrosity over here. So you can see right there, that is a massive pine tree that is laid over into these other pine trees. Now the easiest thing to do would be to just cut these pine trees here halfway, winch them, bust them, and let all that come down. What a mess. Problem is, there's my shop, a shed, there's the power meter for the shop, and the feed shed, and another shed. So I really can't do that. So I think what I'm going to do is go down to the base end of it and just start sectioning it a little by little, and let this lay back down until it gets to the point where it's not putting that much pressure on that pine tree there, and then we'll just let it rot out. Not going to be able to save this goat pen here. We weren't using it this year. Luckily, there were no goats in it when the tree fell. But there ain't no way I'm going to be able to save that fence once I start cutting that tree. It's going to be a mess. So, yeah, we still got a bunch more to do, and it'll probably be months before I get all these big ass trees cut up all the way and moved out of the yard. But I'll at least, by the end of tomorrow, I at least ought to have most of the danger part of it cut up. And we still don't have electricity. You can hear the generator down there running. We don't know when that's going to happen. The power company has pretty much said you'll get it when you get it, which I'm not mad at them, because they're doing all they can, act of God and whatnot. So that is the end of day 2 of running the chainsaw all day, and I'm a little tired. I don't know if that's showing me, but I am filthy and wore out and cramping up, and I'm calling it a day. We'll hit it again tomorrow. So y'all have a good one. Tore up a bunch of stuff in there. So, and I got a whole bunch of this bamboo plant I got to clean up too, because it's all twisted up and dead, so that we can save it, because we like our bamboo bush, but got to get all that dead out of there. So yeah, there's a lot of cleanup. Like I said, we're blessed because we had, other than that soffit, we had very little damage to the house, and just a lot of downed trees. We got a ton of firewood, but no fireplace. But since we got so many root balls to burn, I'm sure we can split a bunch of this and use it for bonfires to burn all these root balls. But you can see all of these are the tops out of all those trees where I cut the branches and drug them over here and tossed them into the woods. And they're just piled up everywhere. And then we got all the pieces of the trees that we cut up. Got plenty of firewood and no fireplace to burn it in. It's all nice hardwood too. Tell you what, if a person had the space to store it, they could go around this area and collect so much firewood, they'd be able to sell firewood and make good money for years, because there is tons of it. So hopefully I'll be able to get the Starlink hooked up here in the next week or so and upload this. And sorry we didn't get more videos of us cutting trees and such, but the problem was we didn't have any electricity to charge the batteries for the GoPro to start with. I had a little generator that was running our refrigerator, a light, and a coffee pot in the morning. But I don't have a whole house generator, but it was good enough to at least save our food. So it was cold showers and all that good stuff for, I think it was 5 or 6 days and nights we were out of power. And like I said, it's been over 3 weeks now. We still don't have internet, and there's pretty much, I mean, it's the fiber optic network in this area is so destroyed that it could be months. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Starlink system and put it in hopefully one day this week when I get time. And all this time I've been working too. So the hurricane happened on a Friday morning, and Monday, the Monday, two days later, they wanted us back at work. So it was going to work with cold showers and no electricity, and then getting off work in the afternoon and coming home and running the chainsaw till it got dark, and stacking wood. And all this cleanup for my yard was done just by me by myself with 2 chainsaws. I got a Husqvarna 20-inch bar 455 Rancher and a little DeWalt 20-volt battery powered 12-inch bar saw, which I'll be doing a review on soon. Pretty much that, and a hand truck is what I got the wood over here so I could stack it, and the winch on the Cherokee to pull that one tree out of the others. And that's all the equipment I had to work with. So we got a lot done. I am tired for sure. We're pretty sad. These were all very nice hardwood trees, with the exception of that one pine, and they were healthy trees. There was nothing wrong with them, but it pulled them all up by the roots. Like I said, the National Weather Service said we had like 100-mile-an-hour winds in here, and I believe it, because it was ugly. And you can look out here in the woods and see there's trees down everywhere. I mean, it is no, like I said, we're thankful we're nowhere near in as bad a shape as the people up there in North Carolina in the mountains. They got hammered bad, but we've still got a lot of damage. We've still got a lot of downed trees. We still got problems. If you're a golf fan, Augusta National got whacked pretty good. I'm sure they got experts. I'm sure they'll have, you won't even be able to tell by the time the Masters comes around, but definitely looks like hell right now. They're messed up pretty good, but could have been a lot worse. Like I said, didn't hurt the roof, didn't hurt the house, other than that piece of soffit. I got one Widowmaker branch right there in that pine tree we got to keep an eye on for now till it finally comes down. It's too damn high for me to get up there, and I'm not climbing that tree. So yeah, taking the day off. It's my birthday. Got to work tomorrow. Oh, and on top of all that was going on, we also did 2 band competitions. Even though better than half the students in the band's families had no electricity and no power, we still managed to compete in our last two band competitions for the year, so the kids still got to do that. And all things considered, and as much as a mess as our community is in from this hurricane, I'd say they did pretty good. So next up, we'll have to rake all of this. Man, there's so many pine cones and sticks and stuff in the yard now. We'll rake it all up. We'll start knocking the dirt off of these stumps and have us some bonfires, I reckon. And so hopefully, well, whenever you see this, I'll have internet back, but right now I don't, so we will see. And man, if you live in North Carolina, I feel for you. Y'all got it way worse than we did, but I hope everybody's doing well. And hopefully we get back to working on the Cherokee and working on guns and doing the stuff we like to do, and not running the damn chainsaw. So appreciate y'all watching, and y'all have a good one.